right here, Amanda Serrano. Don't get me started on her. Sadly enough, she turned down the fight, and if Katie Taylor loses, with Cecilia Braco's losing, you know, Amanda Serrano probably lost out on a shitload of money. Because in my opinion, Amanda Serrano, especially this Katie Taylor, could beat her. I think that overall, Amanda Serrano, just can I have my opinion, please? Let's listen in.
From the two of them.
Please subscribe. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com.
Hats off. Well done, ladies.
David Diamante is double-checking the scorecards.
That's not a good sign.
Christy Martin,
you think you're like, oh shit,
are watching this somewhere in the world tonight. Suspect they may well be. Finally, a smile from Delfine Persoon. There'll be nerves in there for both ladies. Here is David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action here at Matchroom headquarters, we go to the judges' scorecards. Victor Laughlin, 98-93. Mark Lyson and John Latham both scored about 96-94. All three for your winner by unanimous decision. And still the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Katie Taylor.
I don't even know what to say.
Defeats Delfine Persoon.
I don't even know what to say.
She had every right not to be in New York. I think tonight there was just a little bit more class and a little bit better shot selection and the cleaner work.
I want to see what they're saying on Twitter.
Rightfully, she has now put a definitive full stop on her status as champion. And
we're going to listen to the post-fight interviews. We're going to be here probably a little while.
She would have, I guess, at times in that contest this evening, she would have liked to have boxed better, but she's done exactly what she needed to do. She gave us entertainment as well. I've got to give so much credit to Persoon. You know, she's played her part in 2 epic contests. She really,
let's see what the fans are saying.
So gracious in defeat there. Just what a spectacle. You know, it really was. Just I'm proud to have been able to sit down and watch that and call that contest. Fantastic stuff.
Well, the marks of battle on the face of Delfine Persoon, who looks across graciously.
WB scores.
These two could have anything but respect for each other after the 20 rounds that they've shared, both in New York and in the English countryside. It's part of sporting history, this, on 2 memorable nights for very, very different reasons. And Katie Taylor will rest well tonight, and I imagine that this
I bet she will.
Something, given what happened.
You know what? Let's talk, man. Let's talk. It's just that you see this shit happen so many times and so much, you just be like, man, like, what the fuck? You know? And it's like, what are the people watching? I mean, I understand, you know, like, Katie Taylor's going to get the benefit of the doubt because she's the undisputed champion. And yes, Delfine Persoon has a very, you know, sloppy looking, awkward style, but she worked her ass off. She may not have won in regards to the cleaner punches, but she worked. She worked her ass off. Like, she didn't come to box. She came to put a boot in Katie Taylor's ass. And then we see some bullshit like that. Here we are with the post-fight interviews. Katie Taylor,
champion in another hard, grueling fight. Were you confident you had done enough there when you were waiting for the judges' scorecards?
I think so. I knew it was going to be a tough battle going into this fight. It's never going to be an easy fight against Delfine. She's relentless. So I knew I had to dig deep at some stage during the fight, but I thought I boxed really a lot better than the last time, and I stuck to me boxing a bit more, even though I got drawn in a few times, but for the most part I stuck to me boxing this time, and that's what got me to win in the end.
Just how hard is it facing someone like Delfine, who brings just sheer relentless pressure round after round, and when you hit her clean doesn't seem to budge? Yeah,
it's always going to be tough. You can't relax at all in there against someone like Delfine. She's going to come and even though I'm hitting her clean shots, she's going to just attack all the time. So that's why it's such a tough fight against someone like her. But congratulations, we put on 2 fantastic fights, and what an amazing 2 fights for women's boxing. We definitely did our part to promote the sport.
You said after the first fight that there were a lot of questions, not from your team, but the fight divided opinions. Do you think you answered some of those questions and doubts tonight?
Yeah, I hope so. I think it was a lot more convincing tonight, even though it was still a tough, rugged fight. But as I said, it's never going to be an easy fight against someone like Delfine. You are going to have to dig deep and show a lot of heart at some stage during the fight. But I think I did that well. I stuck me boxing for the most part, and I got to convince him in the end.
Delfine, how do you feel after a fight like that? Do you accept the result?
Yes. This time I respect the result. For me, this time the weight was a little bit too much. After March, I weighed 57 kilo, but then the weight was lightweight, so I eat. But I feel like I got not the power enough this time to hurt her a little bit. I take a lot of weight plus, but I cannot.
She ain't have no cardio
this
issues.
time. And if you don't hurt her, it's technical. She's good. She runs around and you have to hurt her, otherwise she's away. And this time I got not the power.
I like that she's humble.
It's my respect. She deserves this time to.
And I'm glad she don't
I
look
got
like
no
she's,
problem with it.
So
like
what
sad.
Would you do, rather than would you do? You've done 20 rounds together. Would you do 30, or are you looking now to go a different route
Give
and
me a
drop down in
break,
weight?
please. Give me a break.
Just I think the first I got, because of the second round, I think I broke my nose. So it was still 8 rounds boxing with my nose. First I left to repair my nose, and then I think super feather is more my weight than light weight. You can eat, but my trainer pushed me to eat. But if you train a lot, too much is too much to take the weight. But my respect to her.
She did weigh in at 132.
Today.
Thank you. Thanks, Delfine.
Full
Like
respect
she's a
to
small
both.
woman.
Thanks
She's
so
saying
much
she had
for
to eat
joining
her
us.
way up to the weight.
Well, brilliant ambassadors for the sport, and another fantastic.
But either way, man, I mean, once again, like seeing, how distressed she was at the first fight, in, the defeat, and when a lot of people felt she won. In this case, I think a lot more people felt she won than they did the first fight. But nonetheless, I'm glad that she's, like seemingly in good spirits, because she was working her ass off. And the women, they've been really holding it down, with the upsets of, a lot of people for some reason didn't think that, Natasha Jonas would push Terry Harper. Rachel Ball versus Shannon Courtenay was a close fight. And then, of course, you had Jessica McCaskill beat Cecilia Brakus. Depending on what Delfine Persoon wants to do, she goes back down in weight. See what's up with Michaela Mayer. Now, Michaela Mayer just so happens is going to be fighting Iwa, how you pronounce her name? Brodnicka on ESPN. They've come to a deal here in the States. Women's boxing is on fire. I do want 3-minute rounds. I don't know all the logistics of it. And I know female boxers, they say they want more money. I understand that. But some of them, sometimes when you see like the shit they be posting, you think like, okay, I get it. I'm all for it. But do they think the money just come out of thin air? I just don't. A little bit of that, it's just a little bit confusing. But in the case of Katie Taylor, like, she commands a lot of money because she has a large fan base. And now Delfine Persoon has a nice fan base. Because fighting on the biggest stage in Madison Square Garden and then, coming out in a rematch, and a rematch potentially being better than the first fight or putting on a better performance, you can't beat that with a bat, I just think that the wrong woman, won the fight. But it all depends on what you're looking for. I wish they would hurry the hell up and show the punch stats. I want to see them. I want to see the punch stats. Because Delfine Persoon, she had to have landed more punches. There was a lot of punches that were landing that the Sky Sports commentators, and they just wasn't talking about. Even if, they may be sloppy punches landed and they don't look as good as Katie Taylor, there's still points. There's still shots being landed. It's just that when Taylor was hitting Persoon, you see it was clean, But whatever, 98, 93, that's some bullshit right there. That's some definite bullshit right there. And I like Katie Taylor. In fact, she's the only UK fighter I've interviewed on more than 3 occasions. Crazy, it's just been luck. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. We cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.